Hello, welcome to the nomenclature video where we talk about how to determine the type of compound. You could know the rules for each one all day and you can recite them by heart, but if you don't know which compound's which, then it doesn't matter if you know the rules because you're not going to know which rule to use. So this video is going to go through just how to identify what the thing is, and then you can take the rules from there. So the first thing, it's basically a series of questions that you need to ask yourself. And if you have a question like in class and you say, Ms. Cook, I don't know what to do here, these are the questions that I'm going to ask you. So now you can ask those questions yourself. Because I'm not always there, sometimes I am, but sometimes I'm not. Like at home, I'm not at your house. So if you're trying to do nomenclature at home, Ms. Cook's not going to be there. Okay. Anyway, sidebar. First question is, what do you see? What do you want? What do you see first? So you're going to say, okay, self, what do I see first? And this could be in, basically we're looking at what do you see first in the chemical formula. So I guess we'll kind of have a different set of questions whether we're looking at the formula or the name. But if I'm looking at the formula, what do I see first? I have three options. I'm either going to see a hydrogen, or I'm going to see a metal, or NH4, or NH4, or I'm going to see a non-metal. So if I see hydrogen, then I know, happy day, it's an acid. Yay! So you'll name it like an acid. You have a list of acids that you're supposed to memorize. Or if you're like in CP or something, then you would have the rules for acids. But if you see a hydrogen, then it is an acid and it's a happy day. Then going over to here, if you see a non-metal, then it has to be covalent. Winner, winner. Because covalent compounds are made up of two or more nonmetals, and so you're going to follow the covalent nomenclature rules. And if you see a metal or NH4, then we know it is ionic. Yay, it's ionic. But if it's ionic, we're not done yet, because there's two types of ionic compounds, which each have their own set of rules. So if it is ionic, then you need to ask yourself another question. And that question is, do I, self, know the charge of the metal / PAI, polyatomic ion, which actually, instead of writing that, I'm just going to write NH4 because that's the only polyatomic ion that it's going to be. So do I know the charge, self, just by looking at the periodic table? And there's obviously going to be two answers to that. The answer either is going to be yes, in which case, oops, I'm going to erase it. We don't have to scream yes, right? But we can scream, it's type 1. Yay! Another way to call type 1 is we call those the Rot compounds. It's a type 1. If it's a Rot metal, it's a Rot compound. And we're going to follow those rules. But if the answer is no, I don't know the charge, then that means it's a type 2. Yay! Or we can say not rot. And of course, we'll follow those rules. So when you're doing nomenclature, don't just start making stuff up and just using the rules, because you have to use different rules for different compounds. And so you must ask yourself these questions in order to, go through the process. Don't rush it. Ask what am I looking at? What kind of compound am I looking at? And if you can identify that, then you'll apply those rules and then it'll be right. If you don't identify what it is first, then you'll be putting prefixes and Roman numerals where they shouldn't be, and it's all just going to be a crazy mess. So please, I beg you, take your time to do this. And the more you do it, the more you'll memorize it, you'll get used to it, and it'll be easy peasy lemon squeezy.